You can be the best lawyer, the most amazing lawyer, but if you have your own law firm and you're not running it as the business that it is, and you don't have the clients or you don't have the profit, not just revenue, but the profit that you're looking for, we need to talk today. So I'm Darcel Lobo. I own Dow Coaching and Consulting, where I help lawyers with the business side of running a law firm. I am a solo myself. I own Dow Law Firm in Seattle, where I do estate planning, real estate, and a little bit of bankruptcy. But in my consulting practice, I work with lawyers who are great lawyers. They're amazing, but they need help with the business side of running a law firm, whether it's opening their law firm, running a more efficient law firm, dealing with kind of time management and productivity, and maybe they're working too many hours. And, if you're like me, you need to pick up the kiddos from school and drop them off in the morning and be able to go to the PTA meetings and the basketball practices. And you want to be able to do those things, but still have a successful and fulfilling career as an attorney and as a law firm owner. Or for some of my law firm clients, it's profitability. They may have great revenue, but very little profit. So I help them where the rubber meets the road as far as running the business of a law firm. And when I see my clients, my lawyers, they have these big transformations when we work together. It feels so good to be able to experience this with them, to help them, visualize their goals and actually put a plan of action together to help them actually achieve their goals. And when we work together, we usually have coaching sessions every 3 weeks. And so it helps to have that accountability and really builds momentum in them moving forward. And so, because beforehand, before working with someone, a lot of times they may have the same goal every year for many years in a row, right? And they're not really making progress towards their goal because they're too busy in the weeds of just trying to do all the things, right? And they feel like they're just kind of scrambling and, burnt from, both ends of just they can't get everything done. And so when we're able to take that pause, work together, really be intentional with our decisions and our growth in our law firms, they really can do some amazing things. And, also, aside from just how to run your business better and how to, be a better lawyer, a lot of times what we forget is how to take care of ourselves and to prioritize ourselves and our own well-being. I know there's a lot of buzz around that term of well-being or wellness, but it's how can you pour from an empty cup? How can you be a great lawyer, a business owner, an employer? How can you be great at all those things when you haven't taken care of yourself and prioritized yourself? And for a lot of us, especially if you're like me and you have kids, you always are the last one on your own totem pole. You are the lowest priority in your own life. And I've really spent the past few years changing that around and becoming my own priority in my own life and not feeling bad about it, not feeling the guilt that can come along with that sometimes. And so we can kind of work on both things when working together as far as figuring out what your professional life is going to look like, but also what do you want for your personal life? What are your personal goals? Before going out on my own and having my own law firm, which I did in March of 2016, so I'm approaching 9 years now. But before I did, I was at a law firm and I was just really unhappy with where I was in my career. And I knew I didn't work this hard to become a lawyer to just be unhappy with my career. And so I really had to do a lot of figuring out on my own as far as if law firm ownership was right for me, and if so, how I was going to do it and how to run a law firm in a way that reflected how I wanted to live my life and what my values were and what was my priorities, what was important to me. And a big one for me was my time. I mean, yes, income. I'm making far more now than I did working for someone else, but also the time that I have to be able to do the things, for my kids, for my family that I wasn't always able to do beforehand. And so as a law firm owner, if you're contemplating going out on your own, or if you are on your own and you're kind of struggling with that business side, keep in mind that as a law firm owner, there's really two different interests you have. You have one interest as a lawyer and you want to serve your client and do everything that you can for them. And, you got to comply with, your rules and your CLEs, and you got to stay current on what's going on with case law and just your legal practice area or practice areas. And if you have more than one, right? So you have that side of things. But then you also have the business owner. You have the law firm owner, which is a business first, right? Before it provides legal services, but it's a business. And so we really have to be focused on being a business owner, being that entrepreneur, and having that mindset and thinking of a business owner. Because if you're like me, I didn't learn that in law school. And I think nowadays in law schools, they kind of teach more courses on that on as far as how to run a law firm and the business side of that. But for a lot of us, we didn't learn that, or we still need help with that as we are developing and growing our careers. And so my goal is really to be that bridge for you, is to be that connection between being a lawyer and being a business owner, and bringing those two things together in a way that supports you in achieving your professional goals and your personal goals. I want you to have a law firm that really supports your passion and supports you as an individual as well. I think sometimes we forget that as lawyers, we are individuals, we are humans, we do have interests outside of our work, or at least we should, and some of us don't, and we need to work on that, right? And so how can we have a successful law firm, but how can we also have a successful personal life? And those two can go together, and I'm here to help you do so. So if you need help with where lawyering meets being a business owner and bringing those two things together, and along with that, taking care of yourself personally, I would love to be able to help you. So feel free to reach out. My contact info is below, and I would look forward to working with you, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, bye.